Namo Namaha. Welcome to Samskriti. By the grace of Sri Rama, we are now in the first sarga of Yuddha Kanda in the Adhyatma Ramayanam series. Hearing the words of Hanuman, who had verbatim narrated what Sita had said, Sri Rama was delighted and said, "Whatever work Hanuman has done is difficult and daunting even for the gods to do. None in this world can even dare to imagine or think about doing anything like that. Who can leap over the 100 yojana wide ocean and demolish Lanka, which is defended on all sides by Rakshasas? Hanuman has proficiently lived up to the expectations of a loyal and diligent subordinate of Sugriva. There has been none in the past and shall never be in the future anyone such as him in this world. By seeing Janaki, Hanuman has saved my honor and that of the Raghu clan of Lakshmana and the honor of Sugriva, the king of monkeys. The search and discovery of Sita has been fully accomplished, but my mind gets a little dismayed when I think of crossing that ocean which Hanuman has achieved so easily. How shall I be able to rescue Sita, killing the enemy, after crossing this ocean which is full of dangerous aquatic creatures like sharks and crocodiles?" Hearing these words of Rama, Sugriva said, "We shall soon destroy and wrench control of Lanka and kill the wicked Ravana. O Raghusreshta, abandon all worrying thoughts, for worry ruins the task at hand. Look at these huge, brave monkeys, ready to even enter the fire in order to do what is pleasing or good for you. Let us first think about the ways and means for crossing the ocean. Once we gain access to Lanka, then believe me, it is as good as our having killed Ravana. O Raghava, I do not see anyone in the three worlds who can even stand in the battlefield against you when you lift your bow. O Rama, everywhere I see omens indicating that victory will surely be ours." Accepting these words of Sugriva, couched in a language that was both devotional and heroic, Rama now said to Hanuman standing before him, "We shall first cross the ocean somehow, but do tell us about the general layout and description of Lanka, which is said to be difficult for even the Devas and Asuras to penetrate. O great monkey, after knowing from you the difficulties of entering Lanka, we shall think of a strategy for overcoming them." At these words of Rama, Hanuman folded his hands in respect and politely told him, "O great one, I shall now describe the features of Lanka as I saw. The majestic city is established on the summit of Mount Trikuta in a heavenly setup. Filled with buildings and walls, golden in appearance, it is surrounded on all sides by moats and trenches full of pure, clean water. It looks magnificent and grand due to many beautiful gardens, groves, extensive tanks, pillars of precious stones, and mansions of great splendor. At its western gate, regiments of elephants are stationed, and in the northern gate, there is infantry as well as cavalry. In the eastern and southern gates of Lanka, too, there are numerous troops of heroic Rakshasas stationed for protection. In the center of the city also there is a huge and countless army consisting of elephants, horses, chariots, and foot soldiers with leaders well versed in the use of all kinds of missiles. The entrance to the city is protected by different types of tunnels and cannons. Though defended so strongly in this way, O Lord, hear what I was able to do there. I have destroyed 1/4 of Ravana's army. I have burnt Lanka and have ruined the golden palace. O Raghutama, I have destroyed the tunnels and cannons. O Lord, Lanka would easily be reduced to ashes as soon as your sight falls on it. Now you must make preparations to go there. We can start immediately with the army of heroic monkeys and proceed to the shore of the ocean." Hearing Hanuman's words, Raghunandana said, "O Sugriva, order all your troops to set out immediately, because the auspicious time portending victory has already begun. I shall go on the mission to Lanka, inhabited by Rakshasas, to liberate Sita and kill Ravana during the currency of this very auspicious time. My right eye is throbbing, indicating that good fortune awaits us. Let the armies of powerful monkeys march forward. Let the leaders take positions behind, in front, and on the sides to guard the forces. I shall ride on the shoulders of Hanuman right in front of the army, and Lakshmana shall follow me on the shoulders of Angada, and you, O Sugriva, should accompany me. On all the sides of the forces, let all the army leaders march. The leaders of great destructive capacity like Gaya, Gavaksha, Gavaya, Mainda, Dvivida, Nala, Nila, Sushena, and Jambhavan. Having thus instructed the monkeys, the all powerful Rama embarked on his mission along with Sugriva, and Lakshmana started with the army. All the monkeys, who were capable of assuming any form they wished and equal to the heavenly elephant Airavata in power, marched towards the southern sea, demonstrating warlike movements and giving out terrific war cries. Consuming all the fruits and honey on the way and declaring their resolve to destroy Ravana, all the monkey leaders of unparalleled power marched on. The two leaders of the Raghu clan, riding on Hanuman and Angada respectively amidst these monkey forces, looked like the sun and the moon amongst the luminous stars. The huge army almost covered the earth from end to end as it moved ahead. The countless monkeys struck the ground with their tails, pulled out trees as their weapons, and climbed over the mountains as they moved on with the speed of wind. That army of tremendous size, led and protected by Rama, marched with great enthusiasm by day and by night without stopping even for a second. Seeing the grand forests of Mounts Malaya and Sahya, they joyously passed through these mountain ranges and duly reached the shores of the vast ocean, which was roaring most fiercely. Then Sri Rama got off from the shoulders of Hanuman, and accompanied by Sugriva, he approached the waters of the ocean. He said, "We all have now reached the shore of the mighty ocean, the house of all aquatic creatures, but we cannot go across it without devising some strategy or adopting some special means. Let us think about it, and meanwhile let the army rest." Hearing these words of Rama, Sugriva ordered the army to pitch its camp near the ocean under the protection of many chief warriors. Seeing the dreadful, ferocious, and turbulent ocean full of surging waves, dangerous on account of its huge aquatic creatures, fathomless in depth, all the monkeys were most baffled and mentally despaired and dejected at the difficulty of the task at hand. Filled with sorrow at the sight of this awe-inspiring abode of Varuna, they began to wonder aloud, "How shall we cross this ocean and kill that evil and wicked Ravana?" Thus, gravely worrying and brooding gloomily, they all gathered around Rama. Rama also was engulfed in immense sorrow and anguish of separation by remembering Sita. Though he is the one without a second, the eternal Paramatma, he still wailed and lamented for Sita as he had assumed a human form for a certain purpose. But it is the ignorant people who do not understand the real nature of Rama that attribute sorrow to him. In his true nature, Rama is pure consciousness, the eternal being and the supreme self. Not knowing this, that sorrow and such weaknesses like joy, fear, anger, greed, delusion, pride, etc., which are signs of ignorance, never affect him who is pure consciousness, men attribute all these signs of ignorance to him. Sorrow is the characteristic of one who thinks, "I am the body." How can it be present in one who has no identification with the body and is established and experienced that he is pure consciousness? Even in deep sleep, there is no sorrow or joy. In the absence of relative joy and sorrow, sleep is declared to be one of pure bliss. Owing to the absence of buddhi, there is no sorrow in one who is established in pure consciousness. So, sorrow and all these relative experiences are only affectations of the buddhi and never of the true self. Sri Rama is the Paramatma, the Supreme Soul, the all-inclusive, and ever-shining eternal being who existed even before creation. He is the eternal bliss, unaffected by any change. People who are ignorant of this real nature of Rama think of him as possessed of the attributes of Maya and speak of him as happy or afflicted. Thus ends this sarga. Let's get on with the chanting now. अध्यात्मरामायणे युद्धकाण्डे प्रथमः सर्गः। श्रीमहादेव उवाच यथावद्भाषितं वाक्यं श्रुत्वा रामो हनूमतः उवाचानन्तरं वाक्यं हर्षेण महतावृतः। कार्यं कृतं हनुमता देवैरपि सुदुष्करं मनसापि यदन्येन स्मर्तुं शक्यं न भूतले। शतयोजनविस्तीर्णं लङ्घयेत् कः पयोनिधिं लङ्कां च राक्षसैर्गुप्तां को वा दर्शयितुं क्षमः। भृत्यकार्यं हनुमता कृतं सर्वमशेषतः सुग्रीवस्येदृशो लोके न भूतो न भविष्यति। अहं च रघुवंशश्च लक्ष्मणश्च कपीश्वरः जानक्या दर्शनेनाद्य रक्षिता स्मो हनूमता। सर्वथा सुकृतं कार्यं जानक्याः परिमार्गणं समुद्रं मनसा स्मृत्वा सीदतीव मनो मम। कथं नक्रजशाकीर्णं समुद्रं शतयोजनं लङ्घयित्वा रिपुं हन्यां कथं द्रक्ष्यामि जानकीं। श्रुत्वा तु रामवचनं सुग्रीवः प्राह राघवं समुद्रं लङ्घयिष्यामो महानक्रजशाकुलं लङ्कां च विधमिष्यामो हनिष्यामोऽद्य रावणं। चिन्तां त्यज रघुश्रेष्ठ चिन्ताकार्यविनाशिनी। एतान् पश्य महासत्त्वान् शूरान् वानरपुङ्गवान् त्वत्प्रियार्थं समुद्युक्तान् प्रवेष्टुमपि पावकम्। समुद्रतरणे बुद्धिं कुरुष्व प्रथमं ततः दृष्ट्वा लङ्कां दशग्रीवो हत इत्येव मन्महे। न हि पश्याम्यहं कञ्चित् त्रिषु लोकेषु राघव गृहीतधनुषो यस्ते तिष्ठेदभिमुखो रणे। सर्वथा नो जयो राम भविष्यति न संशयः। निमित्तानि च पश्यामि तथा भूतानि सर्वशः। सुग्रीववचनं श्रुत्वा भक्तिवीर्यसमन्वितम् अङ्गीकृत्याब्रवीद् रामो हनूमन्तं पुरस्थितं। येन केन प्रकारेण लङ्घयामो महार्णवं लङ्कास्वरूपं मे ब्रूहि दुस्साध्यं देवदानवैः। ज्ञात्वा तस्य प्रतीकारं करिष्यामि कपीश्वर। श्रुत्वा रामस्य वचनं हनुमान् विनयान्वितः उवाच प्राञ्जलिर्देव यथा दृष्टं ब्रवीमि ते। लङ्का दिव्या पुरी देव त्रिकूटशिखरे स्थिता स्वर्णप्राकारसहिता स्वर्णाट्टालकसंयुता परिखाभिः परिवृता पूर्णाभिर्निर्मलोदकैः नानोपवनशोभाढ्या दिव्यवापीभिरावृता गृहैर्विचित्रशोभाढ्यैर्मणिस्तम्भमयैः शुभैः। पश्चिमद्वारमासाद्य गजवाहा सहस्रशः उत्तरे द्वारि तिष्ठन्ति साश्ववाहा सपत्तयः। तिष्ठन्त्यर्बुदसङ्ख्याकाः प्राच्यामपि तथैव च रक्षिणो राक्षसा वीरा द्वारं दक्षिणमाश्रिताः। मध्यकक्षेप्यसङ्ख्याता गजाश्वरथपत्तयः रक्षयन्ति सदा लङ्का नानास्त्रकुशलाः प्रभो। सङ्क्रमैर्विविधैर्लङ्का शतघ्निभिश्च संयुता एवं स्थितेऽपि देवेश शृणु मे तत्र चेष्टितम् दशाननबलौघस्य चतुर्थांशो मया हतः दग्ध्वा लङ्कां पुरीं स्वर्णप्रासादो दर्शितो मया शतज्ञः सङ्क्रमाश्चैव नाशिता मे रघुतम देव त्वद्दर्शनादेव लङ्का भस्मीकृता भवेत् प्रस्थानं कुरु देवेश गच्छामो लवणाम्बुधेः तीरं सह महावीरैर्वानरौघै समन्ततः श्रुत्वा हनुमतो वाक्यमुवाच रघुनन्दनः सुग्रीवसैनिकान् सर्वान् प्रस्थानायाभिनोदय इदानीमेव विजयो मुहूर्तः परिवर्तते अस्मिन् मुहूर्ते गत्वाहं लङ्कां राक्षससङ्कुलां सप्राकारां सुदुर्धर्षां नाशयामि स रावणाम् आनेष्यामि च सीतां मे दक्षिणाक्षी स्फुरत्यधः प्रयातु वाहिनी सर्वा वानराणां तरस्विनां रक्षन्तु यूथपासेनाम् अग्रे पृष्ठे च पार्श्वयोः हनुमन्तमथारुह्य गच्छाम्यग्रेङ्गदं ततः आरुह्य लक्ष्मणो यातु सुग्रीवत्वं मया सह गवो गवाक्षो गवयो मैन्दो द्विविध एव च नलो नीलः सुषेणश्च जाम्बवांश्च तथा परे सर्वे गच्छन्तु सर्वत्र सेनाया शत्रुघातिनः इत्याज्ञाप्य हरीन् रामः प्रतस्थे सह लक्ष्मणः सुग्रीवसहितो हर्षात् सेनामध्ये गतो विभुः वारणेन्द्रनिभा सर्वे वानराः कामरूपिणः क्ष्वेलन्तः परिगर्जन्तो जग्मुस्ते दक्षिणां दिशं भक्षयन्तो ययुः सर्वे फलानि च मधूनि च ब्रुवन्तो राघवस्याग्रे हनिष्यामोऽद्य रावणम् एवं ते वानरश्रेष्ठा गच्छन्त्यतुलविक्रमाः हरिभ्यामुह्यमानौ तौ शुशुभाते रघुत्तमौ नक्षत्रैः सेवितौ यद्वच्चन्द्रसूर्याविवाम्बरे आवृत्य पृथिवीं कृत्स्नां जगाम महती च मुहुः प्रस्फोटयन्तः पुच्छाग्रानुद्वहन्तश्च पादपान् शैलानारोहयन्तश्च जग्मुर्मारुतवेगतः असङ्ख्याताश्च सर्वत्र वानराः परिपूरिताः हृष्टास्ते जग्मुरत्यर्थं रामेण परिपालिताः गता च मूर्धिवारात्रं क्वचिन्ना सज्जत क्षणम् काननानि विचित्राणि पश्यन् मलयसह्ययोः ते सह्यं समतिक्रम्य मलयं च तथा गिरिम् आययुश्चानपूर्व्येण समुद्रं भीमनिस्वनम् अवतीर्य हनूमन्तं रामः सुग्रीवसंयुतः सलिलाभ्याशमासाद्य रामो वचनमब्रवीत् आगतास्मो वयं सर्वे समुद्रं मकरालयम् इतो गन्तुमशक्यं नो निरुपायेन वानराः अत्र सेनानिवेशोऽस्तु मन्त्रयामोऽस्य तारणे श्रुत्वा रामस्य वचनं सुग्रीवः सागरान्तिके सेनां न्यवेशयत् क्षिप्रं रक्षितां कपिकुञ्जरैः ते पश्यन्तो विषेदुस्तं सागरं भीमदर्शनं महोन्नततरङ्गाढ्यं भीमनक्रभयङ्करम् अगाधं गगनाकारं सागरं वीक्ष्य दुःखिताः तरिष्यामः कथं घोरं सागरं वरुणालयं हन्तव्योऽस्माभिरद्यैव रावणो राक्षसाधमः इति चिन्ताकुलाः सर्वे रामपार्श्वे व्यवस्थिताः। रामः सीतामनुस्मृत्य दुःखेन महतावृतः विलप्य जानकीं सीतां बहुधा कार्यमानुषः। अद्वितीयश्चिदात्मैकः परमात्मा सनातनः यस्तु जानाति रामस्य स्वरूपं तत्त्वतो जनः तं न स्पृशति दुःखादि किमुतानन्दमव्ययम्। दुःखहर्षभयक्रोधलोभमोहमदादयः अज्ञानलिङ्गान्येतानि कुतः सन्ति चिदात्मनि। देहाभिमानिनो दुःखं न देहस्य चिदात्मनः। सम्प्रसादे द्वयाभावात् सुखमात्रं हि दृश्यते बुद्ध्याद्यभावात् संशुद्धे दुःखं तत्र न दृश्यते। अतो दुःखादिकं सर्वं बुद्धेरेव न संशयः। रामः परात्मा पुरुषः पुराणो नित्योदितो नित्यसुखो निरीहः तथापि मायागुणसङ्गतोऽसौ सुखीव दुःखीव विभाव्यते बुधैः। इति श्रीमध्यात्मरामायणे उमामहेश्वरसंवादे युद्धकाण्डे प्रथमः सर्गः।